Events, weddings, corporate events, parties, you name it, River Ranch Stockyards can do it all. Check them out, riverranchstockyards.com. A proud partner of Trey's Chowdown and Trey's Chowdown Live. Hope to see you at the table soon. Adios. Season 5 of Chef's Deliciousness and Cocktails starts right now. Woo!
All right, so now we're going to get to Melvin. Melvin, Doughboy Donuts.
Yes, sir.
That's great to have you here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting on this one. So, Melvin, you started Doughboy Donuts, and we're gonna kind of go chronological. But you started Doughboy Donuts, so if everybody doesn't know, right here, Doughboy Donuts. You can see them right here. All kinds of craft, delicious handmade donuts. We're gonna get into where that came from. So, Melvin, you're from Grand Prairie.
GP, yes, sir.
GP, that's where you grew up.
Yes, sir. Grew up in Grand Prairie. Yep.
And so, did you move here, or are you actually from there?
So I'm from Grand Prairie. I was born in Oklahoma City. My parents moved to Texas when I think I turned 3 in Grand Prairie.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and I moved to Fort Worth. My wife has always been a fan of Fort Worth. She's from Austin, and we got together and we were looking for where we're gonna settle at, and she's like, oh, I like Fort Worth, and I was like,
Fort Worth is a great. You know what Fort Worth has turned into. Fort Worth is a little bit of Western town,
Yeah.
a little bit of Austin, a little bit of Dallas, and a whole lot of friendly people.
a good mix.
It's a really good mix, and it's great for schools, and it's just a wonderful. And now the culinary scene is just
It's
crazy,
exploding. It's exploding.
ridiculous.
Yep.
I would never have thought 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So okay, so you went to high school in Grand Prairie.
Yes, South Grand Prairie High School.
South Grand Prairie.
Yep.
So how old were you when you first started? Actually, you probably weren't that young. You started when you were older with the donuts, right?
Correct.
So what gave you the idea to start messing around with donuts?
No, at the time, no one was doing it in Fort Worth. I've always had a sweet tooth. I always liked baking and eating sweets, and that's a family thing. We've all got a sweet tooth. But I had heard of this place in St. Louis that had these crazy donuts called Strange Donuts.
Strange Donuts.
So I looked it up, and they had pie toppings, and they had the Oreos and all this bacon and stuff. And I'm like, man, that looks really good. So I started, looking on the internet. Where can I find that here in town? And nothing at all. So.
And what year was this?
2014.
Okay.
2014. 2014, 2015. And I was like, I got to find a place, but there were a few in Dallas, and there was just one or two, I think. So, I don't know. That was my aha moment. Maybe you should try to, this could be what you do. So
you started Google. Is that you Google stuff? Is that what you did?
Google started
Good old
looking
Google.
Good old Google, man. There were some Tumblr pages that had donuts and Google Images and.
Okay, I love Tumblr. I'm on Tumblr.
Yeah.
I've got 10 different social media pages, platforms.
Okay.
I'm on Tumblr, and I post 3 or 4 times. I love Tumblr.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of great food on it, and
I
the
agree.
pictures are always fantastic on Tumblr.
Yes.
Yeah. So you looked at that, and so when did you? So you never baked donuts before?
No.
What'd you do before that? In between, what'd you do?
I was in the restaurant industry, so.
Oh, perfect.
I had messed around with a few other things, kind of here and there, and we call that getting a real job. So you got, so you're in the industry, so I'm gonna go out and get a real job and try this, try that, and nothing worked, and it just wasn't for me. So
was it fast food, full service, fast casual? What kind of business was it?
It was a restaurant, so full service restaurant. I was most recently was the kitchen manager at the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. So
hey, one on Brian Irving.
Yep.
Why'd they close? They were always doing lots of business.
They weren't.
Okay.
It was the.
They were when they opened up.
Yes, it was the lowest
volume
store in the U.S. and there was only at the 3 and 4 in Texas, and we were the slowest one. But then when they put the highway in, that killed a lot of the business. And
because you had to go up and down to get to there.
That. And there's a huge crane basically right in front of the building, and it kind of killed us. But when traffic opened up back up with everything, it picked back up. But it was the damage was already done, so they decided to shut it down. So
okay. So you did that. So what made you? How did you cook your first donut? I know, tell me what you told me. You went to, did you go to Bed Bath & Beyond and buy the fryers? Is that what
I
you told me?
did. I went to
so let's
Bed
go
Bath-
through that process. It's interesting. It's a cool story.
Yeah, so I went to my parents and I told them this idea, and they were just like, no, this is crazy. You're insane. I'm like, no, but you have to believe me. And I think my mom was more so on board than my dad, because my dad was sitting in the recliner and he was like, nah, I'm not even getting up. I don't care. And
They thought you were just kidding.
They thought I was messing around, but they soon figured out I was not. But so I went back and forth with a lot of different things as far as flavors and profiles. Most people don't know that, but a lot of the mom and pop donut shops, they don't make their donuts from scratch. So it's a pre-made mix. It's in a bag. You add water, you add yeast. Voila, or who knows what, maybe other things. I'm not sure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So
hang on. So let's see. So the mom and pop donut stores I see, they don't make them from scratch like that.
the majority of them do not make them from
Okay.
scratch. Yes. So, and even their cake donuts, their yeast raised donuts.
They're pre-mixed.
It's a mix. I've been approached by companies that sell frozen donuts and things
Oh,
that.
hell.
Yeah.
That
So,
wouldn't even. You could taste the difference.
Yeah, but I don't think some people can. So.
Oh, you don't think they? Well, that's
some people probably can't. They just don't. They don't know.
No, they
don't have-
don't care.
Oh, they don't
No,
care.
This is the way people are, and I've learned this since I started this culinary. And I owned restaurants for many years, but when I got out of the restaurant business and I wasn't focused just on my business, and I started focusing on restaurants all over the United States and Texas and stuff, I started to see and started to understand people's habits on social media and stuff. People are very narrow-minded. It's and they don't mean to be. It's just a life. You live it. You have kids. You have a job. So they stay in about a 3 mile range, 3 to 4 mile range. It's their comfort zone. They go to work. They eat. Every once in a while, especially they'll drive out. But that's their deal. That's what they do.
Exactly.
And so if they find a donut shop, it's pretty good or it's okay.
Yeah.
Bam. But then when you find something that tastes differently, then they know. But most of them don't ever venture out. But because of social media now, in the last 5 years, they're starting to do that.
Yes.
That's what social media has done for
Absolutely.
it. So here we go. So go and finish. So 90%, you said?
I don't know the actual percentage, but it's an overwhelming majority. Your mom and pop most likely does not make their donuts from scratch. So I've eaten a lot of donuts in getting ready for this moment. So we went all over the state, donuts here, donuts there, trying people out, and you can tell. So I even played around with that. I said, that's what everybody else is doing, so it works, so why not me do it? But it just didn't feel right, because at home, if I'm baking a cake or if I'm doing something or cookies, even like as growing up, we never used a mix. It was always from scratch.
Right.
It was always, you do this, you do that, your sugar and your butter, you break down your butter, you add your sugar, you mix it up, this, that, and the other. So
Was your mom that way? Was your mom a cook?
my mom was that way, yeah. She's
I
the
bet she's
master.
a good one, wasn't she?
She is. Damn good, damn good. So I said, I'm going to try to make them from scratch. And how hard could it be? But it's extremely hard. If
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't
sure
know,
it is, yeah.
If you've never done it before. So there's a lot of things that I had done, and just figuring out yeast. That was the hardest part.
Oh, that's got to be
figuring out-
terribly hard.
It
Because
is.
one little thing, bam, right?
Exactly. It's temperature of water, it's humidity, environment. A lot of different factors go into it. And it's not just add it and mix it up and go.
I was telling you earlier, all the cooking shows make everything look so easy nowadays, and it ain't that easy. So
No.
they do a lot of, when they're not live, we're live. When you're not live, everything I do is live for ABC, for Fox, here. So you can't manipulate anything.
Right.
But they manipulate a lot of stuff, and they don't show you that stuff, and I know it's difficult. I want to take you back 1 second to your dad sitting in that recliner, and he said,
Yeah.
oh, no. What happened from there? What was the process from there?
This is a combination of 3 or 4 different recipes. I picked from here, I pulled from there, I threw this out, added that, whatever. My uncle is in culinary, my aunt is in culinary. They both teach at Ben Barber Technical High School in Mansfield, and they're chefs there, the chef teachers. So I got some input from them, input from my parents. Long story short,
So self-taught.
who?
You are self-taught.
I'm self-taught.
Yeah.
I'm self-taught. Yes.
Yeah. In your kitchen.
In the kitchen. Yeah.
By you and mama.
Me and mom, yeah. I'm an only child, and I got.
Oh, my gosh, you're the
get
baby.
I didn't get this big by accident. So I used to stay home a lot too. Actually, summers I like to stay home. I'm a bit of an introvert, so home alone, that's my thing. So, and I had to eat, so I just started making stuff up, or she would leave something, or I'd make something, and it got to the point they were like, okay, you're gonna cook once a week, for the house. So that's kind of
really
how
cool,
I got
though.
that. So yeah.
I think more families should do that nowadays. I truthfully think that we could get back to being a more family units.
For sure.
If the kids had to cook and clean 1 day a week, each child, if there's 2 or maybe 2 days a week, I think it makes them have a lot of more respect and understanding of what it takes to run a house and all that stuff. Yeah,
absolutely, definitely agree. But
so you did. But I'm trying to get to
with my dad. Yeah. So we finally, when we got this recipe down, he's in the recliner, he's watching TV. He's not interested in anything we're doing. And that first bite, he was hooked. First bite, he was just like, he looked at us and we're like, yeah, we told you, like, come on, man, like it works, right? You like it, right? He loved it. So yeah,
did he finish it?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do you remember what donut that was?
It might have been the last call, if I remember correctly. So
the last call, what was it?
The last call is a maple syrup, Nutella, peanut butter glaze, topped with coconuts, chocolate chips, pecans, and Oreos.
Stop.
So a little bit of everything.
That sounds like a state fair donut.
Yeah, that's kind of the that's kind of the basis on it.
So you did that one. So you obviously got your dough correct. You're from scratch dough. Mm-hmm. And when you're talking about trying to figure this out at home, that is seriously made from scratch.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get any more made from scratch than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So was it like when you got it done? Were you happy?
It was, and because I had worked with some of the dough that I had done in the very early stages, and if you've had a donut from me in the very early stages, I'm sorry, they probably weren't good, but I appreciate you still supporting. But heavy, overproofed, super dense. But this right here has got the good balance of having that density and having that softness. The light, fluffy, melt in your mouth generally is not a scratch-made product. So this has got some body to it. It's got some bite. You know, you're gonna work in your jaw. So that's kind of the point I wanted. I want it to be different enough that it didn't scare away the people who are used to that mom and pop thing, but something that, wow, like it's different. And it is, and it's not for everybody. And that was a hard pill to swallow, that everyone was not going to like these. Yeah, and it is what it is.
What you're saying is if you want to do it for the mass, you could do something like Krispy Kreme or something like that, where you mass produce everything every morning, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And
no, I call you a craft donut. That's what I call you.
Yeah.
Because you're a handmade product. Mm-hmm. Everyone's made to order.
Right.
No matter how big the order is, and we're going to get into that in a few minutes because some of your stories are funny. But everything that you did brought you to where you are today.
For sure.
And you're very successful. So you did that, and then you went and you started making donuts out of your house. And I love this story. You started making donuts out of your house, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about how that started, and you got your mom, dad, everybody involved.
Yeah, I started an Instagram page.
Good old Instagram.
Good old IG. Mom was like, well, don't put anything up, and I'm like, nah, I'm going to post it. And people started, get a few likes here, get a few likes there, and every picture I took was in my kitchen on one of my plates or on one of my parents' plates.
Right.
Did that. I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, making it from home. Right. Yeah, put on Instagram. Then I started getting orders from people that were following me. Hey, can I get half a dozen? Can I get a dozen? At the time, I'm like, yeah, sure. So between working and the family life, I was like, yeah, I'll make donuts before work and I'll drop them off to you in Walmart or at the mall parking lot.
And how much were you charging at that time?
I can't remember.
I'm sure you weren't charging for delivery. You were just doing it and dropping it off.
I was just doing it and dropping it off.
Whatever. Slinging donuts, boy.
Just slinging the dough, man. It wasn't anything. There was very little thought put into it. So I was like, hey, what do you want? You want one of this, one of that? So if they wanted a Sriracha maple bacon, I would make one piece.
Just make one?
Yeah. And
what the?
Yeah, I just wanted to get it out there. And I had no idea. In my head, I thought it could get to something like this, but I had no idea. So.
Yeah, it's a dream.
Exactly.
But you have to chase your dreams, and you chase that dream.
Yeah.
And that's what's important. Anyway, Absolutely. So go ahead. You did it. You did making donuts.
Making the donuts, meeting people in random places late at night or early in the morning, and then it got to the point to where I couldn't necessarily leave my job. I had a good job. I didn't want to leave.
But you couldn't make any more donuts.
But the balance was just too hard to keep up. So that's when I got the food truck. So I said, hey, I'll do my food truck from on my off days or on other days, because we have donuts laid out all over the place in people's kitchens and my kitchen and my parents' kitchen.
Yeah. So before we talk about the truck, I want you to tell about the big order we had, everything laid out there. Yeah. Tell us about.
We had this large order. Actually, this happened to me twice. I was doing an order for someone in downtown Fort Worth, and I lost that account on this time because I couldn't keep up. It might have been 250 donuts, and I was frying them 2 at a time, just because. It's just what I had done, and I wasn't smart enough to go get multiple fryers.
Bigger. At that point, you weren't thinking bigger, right?
Exactly. I wasn't thinking big, so I'm like, this is what I'm doing, and it works, so I'm going to make it happen. So my mom gave me these wooden spoons, and I was using the handles of those to turn my donuts.
Okay, yeah, I see people turn them with chopsticks or something.
Yeah, that's what we have now. It's a donut turning stick. It's like a thick chopstick.
Okay.
But I was using the back of those spoons because I didn't have anything else, and anything else would melt that I had in the house. So, donuts laid all over the counter, the kitchen table, the bar area, covered in terry cloth, trying to fry them. So and picking them back up by hand. So that's one thing we don't do in the shop is once they're on this frying screen, they don't come off that screen until after they're fried, because you touch them, they get ugly. Your fingers, the weight of your fingers presses down into them and things like that. So it was a mess. It was a huge mess. Overproof donuts. I would burn donuts because I was too busy dropping them and then running over here to grab more to do this.
Trying to make a circle, right?
Trying to make a circle, yeah, and it was way too much.
But
so
you know what? You didn't quit.
I didn't.
You didn't quit, brother. That's why you're here now.
Man, it was tough, but yeah, I didn't quit for sure.
So you did that, and was there ever a point where you had cake and flour and everything all over the house, or was it just?
My wife hated it. She hated it. I had bags of flour here and toppings here and stuff laid out, and I've got 3 kids, so they were all over the place, and I'm like, hey, this is my area. Don't touch my area, and yeah, it was.
Dude, I have OCD.
Yeah.
I would have a freaking heart attack. I'd probably had to leave.
Yeah, it's best, especially before work. If I'm running late or something's happening, and I'm like, sorry, I got to leave this here. It's covered in flour, and there's stuff all over the place, and I'm sorry, just put it in the sink. I'll wash it when I get home. But yeah, she was so happy to see that mixer leave the house. So
you got how'd you find your donut truck? Well, the donut truck is white with your little doughboy on it, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I remember the first time I met you after you got your truck, but I remember you were real busy. I mean, you had a line of people like 30 deep. I think it was, I was at an outdoor event somewhere. Okay. But I was there ain't no way I'm standing that line. It just kept getting longer and longer. So I went by and threw my card and you had your door was open.
Yeah.
And I threw my card in there, and it landed in the right place. I had to walk by 3 times and throw a card in there to where it got to the right spot. I wanted it, but that's why I met you. So I met you after you got your food truck. How'd you find the food truck?
So I found it through, how did I actually meet this woman? But this woman had her food truck, and it had been sitting in her driveway over in the Fairmount area.
The one you have?
The one that I currently have now. She had kind of used the truck and didn't use the truck, and it had sat there, I think, for a year before I got it, and she had this investor. So I met with both of them and figured out a dollar amount, and I bought the truck from her. So that was pretty much the first truck I looked at, which probably was a mistake. I probably should have looked around a little bit and weighed out those options. But got the truck, got it cleaned up, and we hit the road.
Dude, you were excited.
Yeah.
You were trying to take care of business.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
And you were passionate.
Yeah.
And I haven't told you this yet, but nobody sits in that chair unless they're passionate about what they do, and you're very passionate about what you do. Because there's no reason. You see how far you've come and everything you went through. Just what happened to you at your house, a lot of people would quit there.
Yeah.
First of all, most people have a hard time working a full-time job with a wife and then trying to come home and work. It's tough.
Yeah.
So I hope you pat yourself on the back every day.
I
hope you look up, get up in the mirror and go, man, I'm successful.
Man, yeah. I'm almost there. I can taste it. I'm almost there, I feel.
So you got in that truck.
Got in the food truck. My mom and I we were in front of Kent & Co. on Magnolia. That was our first time I made this big post and said, hey, everybody come out.
They come?
It wasn't crazy, but when I stopped for a second and turned around, there were like 15 or 20 people online. And we were like, oh my goodness. But again, not doing our homework and just wanting to get out there. I didn't understand generators and how those work. So my generator was about a third of the power that I needed to power the whole truck.
What? You learned it all by trial and error.
Yeah, so
that's okay.
Unplugging this, turning that off, cutting that on, and then when I cut that off, I'll plug this back up and all sorts of stuff. So I'm like, well, I want our fire to keep working. I'm like, turn everything off, and we got donuts knocked out. And people were happy. Hot, fresh donuts, fresh to order. You can't beat that.
No, you can't.
You can't beat it.
So I tell everybody, I tell you this, I was in restaurants a long time, and I always preferred people who have experience because they got experience by like you did. Everything that you learned, you couldn't have learned all that unless you were in the thick of what I call the fire, in the middle of the fire.
Absolutely.
You couldn't learn all that. There's no way to teach somebody all that because you don't know what you need or what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
There's no school on get a food truck and get a generator and let's go get this and what size tires you need, what kind of, all that kind of stuff. So it's just, you just have to learn by trial and error.
It is. People ask me all the time, like, I want to do a donut truck. First off, I'm like, don't do it. It's a lot of work. It's hard. There's a lot of trial and error. And there were a lot of times when I've cried in my truck on the way home or on the way to things because I've been so tired or it was so miserable or I couldn't figure this out or figure that out. And my parents and I, we argued. We were yelling and screaming at each other. Like, there's a lot of things that we have sacrificed to get to this point.
Everybody, the whole family. This is a true family business.
It's a true family business between my wife, my parents, myself, even my children. We've all had sacrificed something to get to this point. But I tell people, hey, can you teach me how to do this? I'm like, no. Like, you need to go out there and do it yourself, because the things that I went through, those experiences got me. I appreciate those now. Not that I'm in this position, but at the time, like, those are definitely things you need to experience to get to the next step. And I can't just hand somebody a pamphlet or just say, hey, right here, step one, here you do. That's not going to work. There's different environments. Frying donuts in a food truck when it's 110 outside. It's
you don't
insane.
have time to stop and look at a book anyway.
Yeah, it's insane. Or if it's freezing outside, that stuff affects your dough. There's a lot of things that go into it. And
if you go anywhere and watch food trucks in Texas in the summer, dude, my girlfriend and I went to a new barbecue truck. The truck went in there, dude. They were all sweating on everything. They were just sweat was beading off. They had they had stuff around their head. Those were soaked. Sweat was still coming off. I mean, it's hot. You gotta want to do it, baby.
You gotta want to do it. You got fryers, you got proofers, you got all these other things. On top of that, then you got bodies in there too. You know what I mean?
Bodies put off a lot of heat.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of heat. And you don't realize until you're in a place like that, or like in a big auditorium or a restaurant.
Yep.
And the more they have, the more you have to adjust the air conditioner or the heater, because they just suck it up or pull it out.
Absolutely. And then no one has air conditioning on their food trucks. No. If you did, it wouldn't matter because your window's open or your front door is open or you have sun beating in. And I don't know one food truck with a full working air conditioner to where they're comfortable inside. It doesn't work like that. Bodies, equipment, elements, all that stuff, it just doesn't work. So it's definitely tough.
So you did your first gig in front of Kent & Co.
Yep.
That's a great little area right there. That's where Travis is.
Yes.
He was on the show last week.
Okay,
nice. It was a good show. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
I loved his stories.
I gotta give you some of those burn-ins soon.
Yeah. They're like bacon burn-ins, bro.
Oh my goodness.
He brought me like 38 every one of them.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
My girlfriend went, "Where's the bacon burn-ins?" I said, "I left you 3 in there."
He only brought 10.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He brought me 30.
Yeah. You should have told her 10.
Oh yeah. No, she was watching. It was on TV.
Yeah. You can't hide on that one.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
So you did the truck at Kent & Co. What'd you go from there? What'd you do from there?
Special events, birthday parties, things of that nature. That helped kind of develop the processes down.
Techniques.
Get our techniques and processes. And we had a loud generator. Our generator was just screaming. So we ended up eventually upgrading and getting
That's important.
It is
important.
important.
Like a whisper generator or something?
It's a Cummins Onan.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's super quiet.
Ooh, that's quiet.
Yeah, it's expensive too.
Yeah.
So a lot of money went into that just so that, we go to neighborhoods. No one wants to hear a loud generator all night.
Nope.
We do early morning events. We do late night events, stuff during the day. You're in a nice neighborhood at 10 o'clock, like that's not cool. So even for people at an event or other trucks, it's just not cool. But sometimes you gotta work your way up to certain things, and everybody can't just afford to drop that coin down on a super nice generator.
It's called the ladder of success, baby.
Absolutely.
You got to climb that ladder.
Absolutely.
If somebody gives it to you, it's not the same thing.
Yep.
It is not.
Absolutely.
When you got 15 or 20 restaurants laid out, you're going to be thinking, "Hey, I'm glad I climbed that ladder."
Yeah.
And every once in a while, one of those steps will break, and you'll come falling down, but you got to climb right back up.
Exactly. You'll know how to fix that step when you get back
That's
up
right.
there. So.
You can fix it on the fly.
Oh yeah, on the fly, baby. Yes,
right.
you know it. You know it.
So you did that, and so then you decided to do the brick and mortar on Camp Bowie.
Yeah. So
in Fort Worth.
That was always
On the bricks.
On the bricks. That was always the goal, was to have a brick and mortar, just so it's more convenient, and I can be in one place that people can come whenever they felt the urge to come get a Doughboy donut. But with me in the truck, I've been to Graham, I've been to Aubrey, I've been to Wichita Falls, I've been all over North Texas, like literally all over North Texas.
I've seen you in 2 of those places, because I travel around. I saw you in Graham, and I saw you up Denton, maybe.
I've been in Denton a few times too. Yeah. So we've done a lot of things all over the place, and with being based in Fort Worth, people in Fort Worth were like, "Hey, where you at?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm in Dallas today," or I'm in Arlington, or I'm here or there. Like, well, I don't want to drive that far. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, so.
Running the roads.
Yeah, I got to do what I got to do to make it happen. So having that established location definitely helps people come and say, I can come here more often and get what I need.
What's great is interesting is a lot of people, some don't, but a lot of people will forego the truck once they get brick and mortar.
Yeah.
And you're operating both.
We're doing both.
Because that truck still generates income. It
Absolutely.
Still generates sales dollars for you.
Absolutely.
And people want it. You do.
Definitely.
So what all you do for you? So you do weddings, parties,
Yep.
caterings,
All that.
business functions, everything.
Correct. Weddings. I've got a wedding here. I've got a tasting on Saturday for a wedding coming up soon. I got, I think, 1 or 2 next month. We just worked the bowl games for ESPN. A guy from ESPN reached out to me, came out of the shop and said, hey, I've got the Armed Forces Bowl here in Fort Worth, and I've got the First Responder Bowl in Dallas at SMU. And I'm like, yeah, sign me up. So we cranked out about 2,000, or a little over 2,000 donuts, handed out. They paid for us to hand out plain glazed donuts, and people were able to purchase the gourmet ones on top of that, and a lot did. And we did a lot for the VIPs too. So I gave them, I think 45 dozen combined for both games in just donuts for their VIPs as well. So we were working our tails off for sure.
I've been to a lot of weddings. Now I try not to go to too many weddings. It's because it's a long process, but I've been to quite a few. Yeah. And I've never seen donuts at a wedding. It's always some big lavish, outlandish thing, because you get married. But so is this becoming more popular?
It is for sure. There are. If I go to a wedding, there's, I would say, 6 out of 10 times there's another food truck there. It's a cheaper option. It's a little more unique. It's a little more personal.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea personally,
for sure.
Especially the donuts. I think it's people love sweets, and you don't have to get everybody getting plates on. They just get their own donut going down the road.
Absolutely, and no one wants to really buy a $5,000 cake. Yeah. It's like you can just have the truck come out, or I can set up something inside. We've done donut tiers. I've done a huge donut. Like a large donut for someone. Yeah, it's like a donut cake, but we just stack them up like a cake. We've got a donut wall as well. So we've done,
donut wall.
Yeah, we've done a lot of different things. Or we do the truck, not just weddings.
Why would you want to spend $5,000 on a cake when you can have a truck for $4,995?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. That's funny. I didn't want to say because they're expecting to pay a certain amount.
Yeah. No, it's but every wedding's different.
Yeah.
I guess on a wedding you do per head. Is that what you do?
Per head.
Guarantee you so much.
Yeah, and it depends. And if they have a cake, I let them know, like, hey, people probably want to have cake, and some will have cake, some will have donuts, but a lot of people won't do both. So scale it down a little bit, do less donuts, or do a smaller cake, or do a personal cake.
Let me ask you a question. When you're set up somewhere, what does the average person eat donut-wise? How many number of donuts?
It's between 1 and 2.
That's it.
It's between 1
and 2. Well, that ain't
and
my household.
Yeah,
I eat 12.
Yeah. If it was me and my family, we would get a lot, but
the average is 1 or 2.
Yeah, average is 1 or 2.
Now, what if they're free? What if they're set out? It's a buffet style. And they're free.
They're tearing them up.
Okay.
Yeah. So when they come and get a donut, and it depends, and there's a lot of variables. And sometimes at events or whatever, you have these good old boys that come by and they can put down some food. So they'll come by, and they might get 3 or 4, But then you have the woman who comes by and she just wants 1. You know what I mean? And sometimes some people are like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. So I'll just pass. But I would say 1 or 2, and that's what I tell people when they're doing weddings, or if it's a corporate event at a corporate function. I say in between 1 and 2 is what I would budget for. So,
well, I was always curious about that. Okay, so you got Fort Worth open. It's a cool deal. Your Fort Worth your location has got a little living room. It's a neat deal.
Yep. It's
got a sitting area, but it's also got a living room with a little fake fireplace.
Got the fake fireplace.
Very cozy.
Yes.
I really liked it when I was in there. I had a hard time leaving.
Yeah, that's the idea.
I know, and I ordered 5 donuts that day, okay. and I don't know one of these other things. I don't remember what it was, but it was all good.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I was chowing down.
I appreciate it.
That's my name.
I was like, hey, chow
down.
down.
The sign over there.
You go.
I kind of like me.
That's funny. Yeah.
All right, so let's get to the creativity. So you got a lot of great donuts. Sure. I'm gonna let's put these cups back here. You got the unicorn cup, by the way. You saw that, right?
Oh yeah. I can drink out of this?
Yeah, it's fresh water. It's for you, buddy.
Water, huh?
Yeah, fresh water. What do you think is vodka? Don't believe those stories you heard about me.
Yeah.
Okay, so all these donuts right here now. Let's just go through the flavors real quick, then I'll talk about them. So you have what is this?
That's a Cinnabon. So actually, I'm not gonna lie. A friend of mine that was her idea. So Cinnabon, cream cheese glaze with a cinnamon drizzle. It's simple and easy, but at the time we had cinnamon rolls back here, but we didn't have cinnamon rolls at the time, so that was kind of like a cinnamony type treat.
This is, you tell me what this is.
Sriracha maple bacon. So
sriracha maple bacon. You make the bacon. Everything is made fresh. How do you make the bacon? How do you do that?
That's a secret. But,
I'll tell you.
No, but it is candied in sriracha, so I'll say that. So if you know anything about candying things and sriracha, there is a certain type of sugar that goes on top, and with the sriracha. And my idea with that is everybody gourmet donut wise has a bacon donut, but I wanted mine to be spicy, so we call it sweet and heat.
That's awesome. This is called the Bam Bam, right?
Yes, sir. Cream cheese glaze with cinnamon. I'm sorry, cream cheese glaze with fruity pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
Cereal and milk is what I tell
Is
people.
that the s'mores?
S'mores.
I love the s'mores. I've had that one too. I've had the Bam Bam. What is this one?
That is the shortbread. So that's one of our
Shortbread. I bet that's good.
featured donut for the month. Got a Nutella glaze, got shortbread crumbles, vanilla, cream cheese drizzle, and the shortbread cookie on top.
And what's this one over here with the big
Blood orange.
blood orange?
Yeah, I can't eat those myself. So those are dehydrated. I did those fresh at the shop. We're getting to the point where all this stuff is going to be done in the shop. So we're pretty close, with the exception of Oreos and cereal and
Well,
things
you
like
can't
that.
make
But,
yeah, well, yeah.
but yeah, blood orange glaze with a dehydrated blood orange on top.
And then this right here,
Plain glaze.
plain glaze.
Yeah, some people walk up, I just want a plain glaze, plain chocolate. Butter pecan, my mom makes those.
Oh my
Cinnamon and
gosh,
frosted
butter
pecans with a brown butter glaze. Yes,
Brown butter glaze.
Yes, sir.
That just sounds sexy, doesn't it?
it does sound sexy.
Oh, good
Yeah.
gosh. That's food porn. All this is food porn. Really
All of
is.
it. It is.
Some people don't like when I put that, when I hashtag food porn on my page.
come
I've had plenty of comments about that, but the truth of the matter is, it doesn't mean that. It means sexy, delicious looking food.
There you go.
Some people just don't have that.
Yeah.
So okay, then back here we have, this is awesome.
Yeah, so that's a donut breakfast
This
sandwich.
is a donut. Can y'all see this right here? It's a donut breakfast sandwich. This is one of your donuts made, cut, and then it's got egg, bacon.
Yeah, so we do have a few different options. So you do have the bacon, egg, and cheese. We have sausage, bacon, egg, and cheese, or we got just plain egg and cheese, or you can do sausage or bacon. It comes on a glazed donut, or you can do unglazed. So we compare our dough itself to almost like a Hawaiian sweet roll. So it's not anything over the top, but it's got that hint of sweet with just the dough by itself. But putting the glaze on is a complete game changer. It's really
I was
incredible.
just fixing to ask you, it's got to change the flavor profile dramatically.
It's incredible. It's
Yeah.
incredible. It really is.
I mean, it's probably not even, it's probably like having a Cadillac or a Volkswagen. It's probably that different, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, right here we've got these. What are these?
Those are our sausage rolls. So,
Sausage rolls.
And again, going back to the freshness and how people make things and mom and pops, a lot of those are frozen. They're not made from scratch. So,
You want something made from scratch.
yeah, it's a full sausage link as well. So it's 3 times the size of what you'll get at a regular place.
Yeah,
it's a
that's
Johnsonville
huge.
sausage.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that. That's
beautiful.
That's huge.
it's a Johnsonville sausage, and we do sausage and cheese or jalapeno with cheese, and the dough is made in house. We make those fresh too.
And then grab those right there because those look amazing. I'm gonna put those in the camera right here real quick. Let's do the God camera. You see it right here. Look at that.
Those are beautiful.
Aren't those beautiful? Then look right here. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look how. I want y'all to look at the thickness. Look at the thickness on that bad boy. That's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
So cinnamon. So you make all those fresh too.
These are all made from
All
scratch,
made from scratch.
made fresh in house. Like I said, that's the key, and a lot of people aren't used to the fresh making from scratch, but we're changing a lot of people's minds. And like I said, if they don't, I appreciate people trying this out, but it's not going to be for everybody. But a homemade cinnamon roll, man, is just
That's tough to beat.
it's tough to beat. It's tough to beat.
Cinnabon, they pump that smell out when they're wherever they are. They pump that smell out for everybody to smell it. That's one of the reasons it's made them so successful is the aroma of that. And they are good, but they're not made fresh. See,
Yeah.
This is made.
And I love Cinnabon too.
I love them too. I'm not
Those
knocking.
are-
Trust me, I love them.
Oh yeah,
Just,
absolutely.
look at the thickness of that. That is just beautiful.
Yeah.
So where do you get your creativity? Where do you get your drive and your creativity to create the flavors for the donuts?
Usually, if I see something or there's a flavor profile like this right here, it's pistachio lime. So I try to think of
This
things
one?
that try to think of flavors that are complementary to each other that may work. Like the sriracha maple bacon, just having that sweet element and the hot
Heat.
element.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet and heat. It's just, or I might see something else from somewhere else, and I'll just try to make it better. So our cheesecake donut and our s'mores doesn't just have graham cracker crumbles. It's actually ground up cinnamon toast crunch. So I try to those small little things that take it over the notch.
Details.
The small details matter, absolutely.
The sriracha bacon has that sale.
Pretty good. It's a $4 donut, man, and usually people are really put off by that. But
A lot of work, a lot of labor.
it's a lot of work, a lot of labor. They're dressed to order, and that bacon is expensive, man. So, but
Yeah, they're not giving. You don't see free pork walking down the street and
No.
have free pork.
Right.
No, it's expensive.
I would say 9.9 out of 10 love it when they try it.
Yeah.
You get a lot of comments, oh, bacon, this and that, or sriracha, oh my God. But once people try it, they're hooked.
I'm sure, yeah. Kind of like your dad never recliner.
Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. Just
You
like
gotta have thing. If Dad likes it, everybody's gonna like it.
yeah.
That's a great story. So you're like, did you make all these flavors? No, your friend made that one.
Yeah, so she made that one, the butter pecan. We did the sriracha with bacon.
Your mom made that one.
Well, she makes the pecans from scratch.
Makes pecans.
So
You have to
that's
crush
our
the
donut.
pecans.
Yep, we chop them all in there too. So we buy the pecans raw, and she makes them at the shop, and we chop them up pretty much every other day or so.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, the blood orange, that one's not anything proprietary, but
a lot more.
And we rotate our menu once a month too. So every month there'll be different donuts.
I was just fixing to ask you
Some of
that.
these stay on the menu because they're all popular, but we rotate 3 to 4 flavors a month. And
I was fixing to ask you that. So when I walk in, I see your case. I was going to ask you because some of them I've seen before. I've seen quite a few times.
Yeah.
So you do. What's your staple menu consist of? Is it how many donuts is that?
12 or 13.
12. Okay.
And that includes the plain ones too. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And that stays the same all the time.
For the most part, people love options, and I want them to have options, but too many can get kind of weird.
Yeah.
So we try to keep it somewhat limited. And like today, before I came here to the studio, had a few people walk in. They just like, hey, I just want a mix. And I said, hey, we have 12 in the case. Do you want to just do one of each? And I'm like, that's perfect because they can cut them up and people can share and taste. And next time they come back, it may be a little more of a, hey, I want 3 of those or 2 of those or 6 of those. So.
Well, unlike a lot of businesses, like if you're selling steaks or whatever, you can put that, hamburgers, you can put that stuff in the cooler. Barbecue, you can hold it in the refrigerator until it's ready or whatever. Yours, there's no holding over. There's no. It's a fresh deal, man.
Yeah.
It won't taste good after a couple hours.
Yeah, it's something. It's got to be eaten pretty soon. My parents.
You won't send it out, will you, if it doesn't taste right?
Oh no, absolutely not. If I won't eat it, then I'm not gonna make someone pay for it. That's for sure. That's not right. That's not. And then it would just make someone upset, and they'll just never come back. But if I let them know, like I've told people, hey, I don't like the way these look, so I can't sell them, but I can offer you a cinnamon roll or something else, or because things happen. We're human. We make mistakes, and the elements could be working in the shop, or hey, it just got hot all of a sudden, or it's freezing outside, and that affects a lot of this stuff. So if it's not right, I'm not going to sell it.
Can you, now that you've been in business not long enough, and you've done everything in the world with it, can you look at one and tell when it's not right? Like if you didn't make it, could you look at it and tell one right? Or feel it?
Yeah, it's more, you can look at it, you can see. Some of them will have cracks or creases on the top, and it's not like an old-fashioned cake donut. And if it looks like that, I'm like, hey, something's up. Or if they're overcooked, I'm saying, why does it look so dark? Because something had to have happened within the dough itself for it to speed up. Yeah, because we have the same temperature, and my guys know how to turn it and when to turn it, so that's never an issue. And definitely weight. If we pick up our donut screen out of the fryer and it's super heavy, then you know right away. Red flags, absolutely, instantly red flags.
So how often do you get to a point to where you make a bunch of donuts and you spend all that money making them and then they're not right? Can you stop the process now before that happens, or sometimes it still happens?
Yeah, if it's done, it's done. But during the process, it's important when you're mixing donuts, don't overwork it, especially dealing with yeast. You can overwork that, you can kill the yeast, and then
what does it do if you overwork? Make it heavy, tough?
It'll make it heavy and tough. It'll kill it, and they won't rise. They won't get lighter. They won't get fluffy. So like our process, we make them the day before. So any dough that people will come in our shop tomorrow, hopefully, and eat will be made today around now. It's 10:43. So
it has to rise.
It's we cold proof. So we
you cold proof.
We cold proof.
Okay.
And then in the morning we come out. We set it out for a little bit, and then we get to rolling it out. And then we cut them, put them in our proofer. So it's a double proof process. And then from there, it'll rise in our proofer. And then when you drop it in your shortening, it'll rise a little bit too. So if they come out flat, they look like footballs, or if they come out looking like bagels, you know what I mean? Then we know something's up. So, but the process of making it is pretty delicate. So my staff is taught to take their time with that process because it'll hurt us later on down the road. So,
what's your business?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's this. You got to treat it like they're babies.
Absolutely.
You got to pamper them, take care of them.
That's right. That's
love
right.
on them.
That's exactly what I tell them.
Talk to them.
Yep. Like a whole baby. There you go. There you go.
What is the most profound thing for you for your business? What is the most important thing for you for your business? Like when you get up every morning, what do you think about the most? Just I don't know. What would it be? What would
for me, it's just consistency. Because I think with consistency, everything else will come. If I can put out a beautiful perfect donut every single time, then you're gonna take a bite. You're gonna tell your friends, and that you tell that one person that one thing, it's just gonna spread. So if we can be consistent, I think people love that. You and I were talking off before about other businesses and how they, and I thought about this too. How does I don't want to name names, but there's these turn and burn restaurants that really aren't good. How do they stay in business? Because it's not really good food. But it's consistent, and that's what people like.
It's consistent. What I tell you, 3 to 4 mile radius.
That
3 to 4 mile radius.
Yeah, and it's close. So if we can be within that radius, if we can be within the area of people willing to walk or drive or ride their bike to.
But people will drive for this.
I hope so.
They'll drive for that.
Yeah.
They'll drive for that.
Yeah.
That's not it's not a common thing. It's like where you are now. Nobody's doing that where you are. When I was growing up, it was Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts, all it was, Dunkin'.
Yep.
Now there's a lot better options.
Absolutely.
So what is when you buy your products? Like, do you buy all of your stuff from one particular vendor, or do you go out and have to use other vendors because you have so many different products?
Yeah, it's multiple vendors. For the most part, we get it at 2 different places. But sometimes you might find pistachios $1 cheaper somewhere else. You're talking
a lot of money.
Salted pistachios, $11, $12 a pound.
What fluctuates most in your business price wise?
Oranges.
Really?
Yeah, we do fresh squeezed oranges.
I thought you were going to tell me something else. That's amazing.
Yeah, for the most part, the oranges, we do fresh squeezed orange juice. We got an orange juice machine, drop it in, it slices it, and it squeezes the juice out of the thing right into your cup.
You're doing fresh squeezed orange juice at your location on
Yes,
Fort
sir.
Worth?
Yes, sir. And it might be a $40 case of oranges, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then we need to look at other places. I bought oranges at Central Market because they're cheaper than my normal place. Or there's a
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, there's a farmer's market. My mom found it on the east side, and same thing. So go pick stuff up there too. Blood oranges you can't really get anywhere, so I might just need to go Central Market or find a place like that or Whole Foods to. But yeah, flour too. Flour fluctuates a little bit as well.
That's crazy.
But for the most part, Oreos and butter. It could be anything. So
yeah. But I guess you knew you answered my question, which was, and you knew what it was right away because obviously it fluctuates for you, so you know. So your sausages, does this rise overnight? This dough?
No, so that's made. No, it proofs, but it doesn't. It's not an overnight thing. Cause
what do you call those?
Sausage rolls.
Sausage rolls.
Yeah, my daughter calls them donut sausage. So
well, they're not really kolache.
Nah, it's just a regular sausage roll.
But they're big and fat and heavy.
Yeah, it's a full sausage in there. It's filled with cheese and jalapeno.
It's supposed to be a full sausage in my mouth.
There you go. All you.
Looks delicious. What is the favorite thing that you do? What's the favorite thing that you make at your favorite donut that you make?
My sriracha maple bacon.
I was just fixing. I would tell you something. I love sriracha.
Yeah.
I love his story. I love how he came across, how he escaped Vietnam and came across. Have you ever watched his story?
I haven't.
Oh, you'd cry. Literally,
Really?
you'd cry. Yeah. He had to smuggle himself away on a ship. Didn't eat for many days. It was phenomenal. His story. Then he lived in somebody's garage. He lived in somebody's garage for months and made this. Came up with the idea for sriracha in somebody's garage and started making himself in his garage.
Wow.
And the story is just phenomenal. And now he's one of the largest companies in the world.
Oh my goodness.
And his company, Hufong or whatever his name is, was the ship that he stowed away in to come to America.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah,
I need
he
to
still
watch
speaks
that.
no English.
Really?
No.
Oh, that's so awesome. I love that.
But the video's short. You got to watch it. It's amazing. I always say food tastes better with a story.
Yep.
Like your dad, I can just picture your dad sitting in that recliner and him taking one bite of that donut and coming unglued. I can see that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good tester.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Yeah.
So what are y'all's plans? Y'all have any other plan? Anything coming up big, or just gonna keep rocking, making donuts?
Keep rocking, making donuts, getting the truck out, looking to get more wholesale accounts, large caterings. The Dallas Donut Fest is coming back up here in a few months. I just got the email for that, and the Food Truck Championships of Texas in Graham.
Yeah.
We've been out there. That's coming back.
The Donut Festival in Dallas, that's a good one. That was huge last year.
Yeah.
I mean, you were covered up.
It was packed, man.
It was crazy, wasn't it?
It was hard to move in the place. It was really, we didn't know what to expect. And I know that the founders, Roy and Brandon, I know they were just like
They didn't believe it either.
I don't think they knew how big it would get.
No.
And at the end, I remember Rory like, "Oh my goodness," and I was like, "Yeah, y'all did that. Y'all did that.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was really cool."
Yeah, I like Brandon. That's Brandon Baker. He's an awesome guy.
Yep,
He's
yep.
good at what he does.
Yep,
Takes
absolutely.
fantastic pictures.
Yes.
Food photos.
Yes.
How big that festival? There was like 2,000.
I don't know the exact number. I know she sent out the details afterwards, but I know there were, I don't know, 20 or so donut vendors or something like that.
It didn't matter. Everybody was.
People had plates. They walked around with these plates or these boats, and there were just donuts piled on donuts.
Hey,
people.
You said one donut. I don't think that was the case over
Yeah.
there.
Oh my. Yeah. People were coming back around. So, but it is what it. That's what it's for.
So you're going to do the food truck championships in Graham this year? You think?
I think so. Yeah.
I love that. I've been out there 3 years. I
Yeah.
skipped one, but I'm out there 3 years.
Uh-huh.
I love that. That's in Graham, Texas, and you got the Donut Festival. What else are you doing? You got any big plans for the summer?
I don't think so. No, not that I know of. So it's just growing the business, working on a few more things involved with the donuts themselves, hoping to get cake donuts rolled out. And again, we didn't want to do a bags and boxes type thing with anything we do. So we're working on getting that recipe from scratch. And I know people are anxiously awaiting that, but it's going to be worth it when it does come out.
So what's the most important thing for you that you've taken away from this whole experience for you as being Mr. Doughboy? I know you've been called Doughboy.
I think patience, man.
Patience.
Patience.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good answer.
Yeah, that's the one thing. And I just told my mom the other day, I was like, we got some wheels moving on some other things, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take a deep breath, and if it happens, it happens. If not, I'm not going to let it stress me because I have other things to worry about and to make better and to get right. And if it's meant to be, it is. And I know it sounds cliche, but I don't want to rush myself into a bad situation. I'd rather take my time and it be the perfect situation.
Listen, when you're making donuts, brother, patience is a good thing to have.
Oh yeah.
Because if you don't have the patience, the quality of the product's not going to be good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how many competitors have tried to steal your ideas, your product from your donuts?
I don't think anyone has. There are competitors in town and in Dallas and in surrounding cities, and we're all cordial. Everything's cool, and I don't think people are stealing stuff. So.
Is everybody friendly?
Yeah, we're friendly. There's a competitive edge there for sure.
There has to be.
Yeah, and we're always kind of,
Everybody's got to eat.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's got kids to feed.
Exactly, and I want them to succeed, and I hope they want me to succeed also. And there's more than enough room for all of us. There's more than enough room. There are a lot of people in Fort Worth that have come out there, and we were we were North Texas's first donut food truck, and there are other donut food trucks that have come and things like that. And there's enough meat on the bone for all of us. It's just be respectful, man. That's it. We're all like you said, we all got people to feed and people that rely on us. And if we play our cards right, we'll all be able to eat.
People always wanting free donuts.
Yeah.
Hey, it doesn't matter if it's donuts or hamburgers or bacon. People always going to want stuff for events and charities. And,
I do a lot of things for those big events and charities and March of Dimes and
some of those charities are very good charities.
Absolutely, man. I love doing those events, but it's just you got to. I can't just give. You know what I mean? I would want to, and I hope to be in a position to where I can do something like that every single week or every month.
I tell you, you can't give away the farm and hope to be able to have a place to raise the cows to milk them. You can't do that.
Exactly. We're not in that kind of position, but I hope to be in that position to where I can give a little bit more back.
So what's your favorite? Where was your favorite place to be? At the shop or in the truck?
It depends. Depends on the day. Depends on the weather. I like to shop. But there are times when it feels good to be out on the truck and be on the road. We did a thing yesterday for the Tri-Delts at SMU. So we were back and forth from Fort Worth to Dallas and back, and it was cool to be on the truck. And those girls were nice and fun and respectful, and they were excited. Which when people are excited to try my food, that makes me really excited too.
Yeah.
So
I think being out in the truck, you get out, you get to motivate, you get to get out of your environment, be outside. I like doing that. Plus, you get to meet people.
Exactly.
You meet people.
Those events are rarely the same. They're rarely the same.
All different.
They're all different, and that provides a little excitement because you don't know how it's going to go.
So what has been your favorite event you've ever done?
Favorite event? We did a bar mitzvah.
Oh, wow.
In Highland Park.
Oh, wow, but that was good.
I didn't know that they let the kids drink.
Oh.
So that was fun.
Oh my gosh, was there a lot of people there?
There were a lot of people there. There were the
Highland
kids.
Park had to be a good one.
It was good. The kids were having fun too. But
Oh my gosh.
the Dallas Donut Fest was pretty fun too. I'd say that's probably one of my top ones. So
That's
really fun.
awesome.
Yep.
So I want to know, everybody. You said this earlier, and I've been sticking in the back of my brain. It's the family. We said this, but we didn't. It's a family operation. Your mom helps you.
Yeah.
Your dad helps you
Every day.
Your wife's a school teacher.
She teaches 4th grade. Yep.
She teaches. I bet sometimes working with donuts might be like being in 4th grade. You know? So she's and your kids. You got 3 kids.
Yep.
And do they ever help in the business? Not really old enough yet.
They're not old enough yet, but they want to.
I bet they'll eat them.
Yeah, they eat them all the time. They love it. You bring this home or bring that home, or if I bring a box, my son he'll climb on the fridge to get something, or he'll work his way up to find that box, or they see that brown box come in the house, they know what time it is. So.
They know what time.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, wants to do you do caterings, business events, weddings, everything like we talked before. You do food. You also do outside food events and stuff.
Correct.
How do they get a hold of you?
Email is best, or
Is that Doughboy?
Doughboy Donuts DFW at Gmail. It's long. Doughboy Donuts. Donuts is a shorter version. DFW at Gmail, or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Send me a message.
You're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. What's do you have a website?
DoughboyDonutsDFW.com.
DoughboyDonutsDFW.com.
Yep.
You wait till it's Doughboy Donuts Worldwide DF.com.
Oh man, that'd be cool.
Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be awesome.
Worldwide.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Yeah.
People be eating them, won't they?
I hope so.
So what are your flavors this month? I know you said you have flavors of the month. What are they?
These 3 here.
These 3 right here?
Yes. So the blood orange, pistachio lime, and the shortbread. And I'm hoping to have a filled donut in the next month or 2.
And you don't do cake donuts yet?
Not yet.
You might do it, but right now
I'm working
on it.
Got to perfect it first, and then it'll be.
There you go.
Yep.
Perfection. I like that.
When it's right, it'll be out there. As soon as I have it right, it'll be out there for everybody.
Perfection, baby.
Yes, sir.
That's what makes a good donut. I'm gonna have to bite off each one of these.
Go for it.
I hope my girlfriend's watching, because I'm gonna tell her, I don't know, I didn't get any donuts today.
Yeah.
I didn't get any sandwiches. I'm gonna take her one of those sandwiches.
Yeah.
She'll like one of those sandwiches.
Tell her it was pre-recorded, and we did it 2 days
Yeah,
ago.
it was pre-recorded.
So,
yeah, we use props.
There you
we
go.
use props.
There you go.
Okay, so if you're trying to get a hold of us, as usual, it's Trey'sChowdown.com. That's Trey with the E. If you go to Trey'sChowdown.com, if you're a first-time watcher or listener, we've got everything. We've got our videos. We have our show segments. We have our stuff with ABC, Fox, Blaze. Everything that we do is on the website. It's a massive website. You can go, take a little time, search around, find what you want. It's neat. We have a restaurant guide. We have a barbecue guide. We have a hamburger guide. We got the best hamburgers. We have our best hamburger for 2019 coming out at the end of this month.
Nice.
We've been doing those now for 4 years. They've just gotten huge. My barbecue reached almost 4 million people last year.
Really?
Oh, it's crazy.
Sorry. Your time frame? Do you really hit all these spots? Do you have like a method or
a year? It takes me a year.
Really?
I did like 100. I did 129 barbecue restaurants at 119 different. I had tried 119 burger restaurants, about 150 different burgers.
Wow.
And I'm still trying some burgers for 2019. I've got to fit some more in, because I want to make my test bigger and better every year.
Wow.
So, because people love hamburgers, love barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do a donut one, I think. I'd like to do donuts. I want different donut flavors and stuff. I think I want to do that, because I think it'd be a neat deal.
Uh-huh.
It just, and I want it to be, it's thorough. I give locations. I give what the food was like, what the people are like, and I rank them. And it's a really neat deal.
Nice.
And that comes out at the end of January. My barbecue comes out in March. The Bloody Mary already came out. It came out last month.
Oh,
and my chicken came out last month. It was a neat deal.
Nice.
So, Trey'sChowdown.com. Please hook us up on all the social media platforms. We are on all of them: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. Oh man, Snapchat, and we post on them all day, every day. So if you like food, you like events, you like seeing our show, please friend us, hook us up, and watch our show. And we'll be back here again next week. I like to say same time, same bat channel. Melvin, thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Doughboy Donuts, go check them out. Fort and Doughboy DFW.
Doughboy Donuts DFW.com.
Doughboy Donuts DFW. That's a long one, isn't it?
It's a long one, man. I'm gonna change it soon. It's too much. Yeah.
Doughboy Donuts DFW.com.
Yes, sir.
See y'all next week. Thanks for watching. Adios.
Welcome to the River Ranch Stockyards Event Center in Fort Worth, Texas. Events, weddings, corporate events, parties, you name it, River Ranch Stockyards can do it all. Check them out, riverranchstockyards.com. A proud partner of Trey's Chowdown and Trey's Chowdown Live. Hope to see you at the table soon. Adios.
Hi, I'm Trey Chapman, publisher of Trey'sChowdown.com. I'm passionate about finding the best food, drinks, and chefs, and sharing it all with you. I should know I have over 5 decades of food experience. Find me on any podcast platform, Facebook Live, or just Google me. Now you can watch and listen to all my great finds every week on my live TV and radio podcast at Trey's Chowdown Live.